Yeah, yeah. If the hives are not protected by an electric fence,
right,
and the bear finds it, it's gonna, you know, and now then the bear's gonna learn that it's around. Then they'll keep coming back. This fence is electrified. It's baited. Bear comes along, smells the bacon, bites the bacon, gets shocked, then says, "Nah, not here." Right. And so, but I have a bear in Tewksbury that hopped a compromised fence in a customer's place, and I upgraded the fence 100%. You know, it's shocking. It's good now, but I'm not a bear. If I was a bear, I can still hop it, but we needed to stop it somehow. So, you know, we'll see if that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you're pretty regular bears.
Yeah. So setting up a fence in March, putting the bacon on it,
right.
And so I have a bear that comes and then walks a path just behind this. So it's either walking that path or she goes into this field and probably crosses the street. So, and then I have a place that I rent for equipment storage just around the corner, and there's a bear that's walking around all the time, but instead of a door, I have an electric fence.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's a gate. It's an electric gate, basically, to it. So I'm just going to give it a little smoke. So this is a drone here. You want to come and take a look. This is a drone. There's no stinger. So you can just put that in your mouth.
That's right. Now, how did you distinguish the drone from the worker?
It's a bit broader. So you fly, they're stronger flyers, so they're not gonna stick around. But usually when I walk over here, they fly off the frame. And so what I want you to do is stand next to me. Put the sun over your shoulder. All right? And then look down into the cell. So right now I'm looking right here, and I'm looking at the little hot dogs. So if you hold it, and so with this being your shadow, you should be looking. Oh.
You want me to be in the sun?
Yeah, so you want the sun.
Yes.
And then you just move the frame around, and then like the egg will just like pop.
The egg will pop.
Do you wear corrective glasses by any chance? Yeah. So then like maybe look where your readers. Little hot dogs.
When you say it'll pop,
Like
so it's just like a little white spot?
Little white spot.
Yeah,
right on.
okay, I see it.
You see them?
Yes.
And they're almost on every single one.
Okay.
You wanna hold them?
Very tiny.
So that you're looking right here, like right at with the sun. Right at the bottom, like the cell is this, and they're sticking up from the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's just a teeny little white thing.
Okay. Yeah, it was smaller than what I was
That's what I was looking for.
And so this was a swarm that was caught a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a piece of foundation that was given to them.
Okay.
And, well, do they have a queen? Yes. They have a queen because
Where is
there's
it?
eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
she's somewhere over there.
Okay.
I made sure I looked before I walked over just
Okay.
because,
You don't want to move her.
well, I don't want her to be on this side when I'm walking.
Okay.
If she was here, I would have walked with her.
Okay.
But, and, because I just don't want her to fall out.
So how many do you think are on this?
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
So this is one frame of bees.
Okay.
This is one frame of, this is a half a frame of brood. That's really the numbers. Really.
Okay. And when you make a purchase of bees to get started, how much are you buying? What?
So you're buying what's called a nucleus colony. A
Yeah.
nuke. So it's 5 frames of bees and brood,
Okay.
a egg-laying queen,
Mhm.
brood that is hers, and bees of all ages. So you have foragers.
Okay.
That colony is like down in North Carolina. We make them up. Probably like two or 3 frames,
Mm-hmm.
and a frame of foundation, and a frame of food. Gave them a queen cell or a queen actual,
Mhm.
and then they build up. And then once they're, and it's timed because we know how many eggs a queen can lay,
Mhm.
and we know how much they're going to build up. We want them to arrive here in New Jersey on about April 20th to be 5 frames of bees and brood ready to be moved into its full-size box. And
Okay.
so this year they were a bit early just because we had that spring that didn't have any real cold snaps,
Right.
and they also didn't have any cold snaps in to knock them back a little bit. And what I mean by that, knock them back, meaning on a cold couple of days, they'll stop, that queen will stop laying eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't happen this spring. And so that's why we're seeing such a crazy swarm season.
Okay.
I'm behind because the bees are ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to see the eggs?
Sure.
So if you just, and now what you can do is you can move them out of the way. Just put a little pressure behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, okay, you touch your hand.
Oh, I see them. Everyone has a little egg in it.
It's barely touching.
Everyone has a little egg.
Everyone, so that queen went, woo-doo-loo-loo-loo, laid a bunch of eggs. And it's cool to see her lay an egg. And when she does, it's like really tiny. That's like 3 times as big as it can be.
Okay.
Because she's tiny and she holds all of the eggs of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the sperm in her life. Because she goes out once a year, once in her life to mate.
Okay.
And so these colonies have swarmed. What is left behind is like 3 or 4 swarm cells. Those queens will emerge and work their wings, get a little stronger, and then go out on a flight to go and mate with the riffraff of Sussex County.
Mhm.
And so ideally 15 to 25 drones she'll mate with, and can come back and continue the colony. And so what I'm going to see in a couple weeks is I'm going to have a period of time where there's no eggs. I'm going to have a period of time where there's no eggs and larvae. So a colony that just swarmed has no eggs because she stopped getting fed 3 or 4 days before they swarmed to lean her up to get her thinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the period of time where that virgin needs to emerge, another 6 or something days, and then she needs to work out. She needs another 4 or 5 days. And so there's a period of time where they're completely broodless, but they're queen right. I mean, they have a queen, but she just hasn't come online yet, really. And there's certain signs that you'll see, and it really comes with like a little bit of experience and just seeing like where they're laying. This doesn't have anything else because it's foundation, but this space will be left open on a colony that has a virgin. So like they'll leave the brood nest open, free of nectar, if there's a virgin coming online soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this back into the box.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the, you know, the gist of it. You know, being comfortable with your bees. Something that said like, oh, my bees got to know me, and now they're more comfortable. I think you're more comfortable with them, so you're better off. You're calmer, you're collected, and you know you're able to work them. You know, if you're distracted and nervous to hold a baby, that baby's gonna cry.
Right.
And so I think it's the same thing when you're working with the animal. Granted, there are defensive genetics that are available, but you can know the difference, and if it's consistent, and it's a consistent thing. So we breed bees to be gentle and fun to work with, while also breeding them to make a lot of honey and be disease resistant. So, yeah.
Hey, from your video, the wildflowers that you provide for them, how far can they be from the beehive to be used, you know, be food for them?
So it can be, I can fill this whole space with buckwheat 3-4 weeks ago. And buckwheat could be flowering right now. They would fly right over that buckwheat and go to the black locust. Okay. But if I plant buckwheat now so that it flowers in late August, early July, when there's a nectar dearth, then I'm providing a little nectar for them when there's a nectar dearth. Okay. And so I'm not going to do that here because we're going to do a little project.
And how far would the black locust be?
Oh, just like drive down the road and it's like the white flower that's absolutely everywhere right now. I know that there's one a little bit north of here. I was walking around the Christmas tree farm and you can't see them because it kind of like slopes down. But there are some there.
So within that distance,
Yeah, so they're I like to say that the bees are the best economists. Yeah. They're going to fly for that $1,000 bill. When there's $1,000 bills to go walk for. But they're not going to, once the black locust opens, they're not dealing with dandelion. But when dandelion starts to open, dandelion are like dollar bills. They're not sitting on the couch, they're walking out to go and grab $1. But when there's thousands, they're going to go bump it up. Like behind me is a poplar. All right, so it's kind of in the shade now. You can't really see the flowers, but poplar or tulip poplar or Lepidodendron tortipifica is flowering right now, and that's another nectar producer in the tree. It's not like a heavy hitter here in northern New Jersey because black locust is flowering. Go down in Bernardsville, Tewksbury, it's everywhere, less black locust. So I'm going to make more of that honey there.
So there are specific plants then that should provide on the property.
Well, it's how much property do you have?
6 acres.
6 acres.
6 acres. Awesome. I can give you 100 black locust seeds today, so you can start growing out for next season. They'll be this big, but you know, in 10 years they'll be awesome. Put 1,000 of them just for the giggles, and I haven't gotten around to planting them. So, yeah. So it's like almost you can't plant enough to ever really influence your hives, because even if you planted one black locust tree, if there's 20 over there, then they're locked on to that 20. So there was a guy in Florida, he got a question, does a podcast, a researcher in Florida, and he was asked, like, I forget the name of the tree, but we're gonna call it black locust. It's like, a black locust, they're not visiting it, but it's like, but there's probably an abandoned yard that's completely covered in it, you know, equivalent to our knotweed, Japanese knotweed, because it's an invasive species. So.
I would do that. We have one pretty big field, probably 2.5 acres. That's just kind of wild. We don't really do much with it.
Yeah. So. And so there's, what you could do is, well, you can pick and choose things in that field. You know, mowing it once a year to keep woody plants out. But then if, you know, you have, see that plant, see that funny leaf one on the corner there? Yeah. Right. That's the poplar.
Are you talking about the tree next to this corner?
No, so there's 2 trees there. there's two trees here. One is the poplar, and one is Atlantis. So this is the poplar.
Right.
And looks like it was cut
Mm-hmm.
a couple of times. And this is the Atlantis, the tree of heaven. Atlantis. Hello. You Jennifer? Called you, yes. This is the tree that the spotted lanternfly loves.
Yeah.
And so it's advocated to kill these. I should cut it down, but yeah, it's a good talking point for me.
Yep.
I haven't. Every plant in its life existence probably has a period of time in a geological time scale that should be deemed invasive. Like it's just this time for this plant. It'll eventually get pushed out. But we're just going through the entry. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna help her. She's got a swarm and doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Okay, and I'd be interested.